Hello, ladies, and welcome to today's interview on how they got started and moved to a next level. I am so pleased to be joined today by a very special guest, a woman who's dear to my heart, and that is our lovely Liana Chaouli. Liana, welcome.
Thank you, my dear. I'm so happy to be here.
You're so welcome. And let me just give a bit of background to the listeners. Liana is the president and founder of Image Therapists International, and she's a globally recognized thought leader, style expert, and mentor, fluent in 5 languages. And Liana creates transformation for her clients through the power of wardrobe. For 2 decades, she has consulted with CEOs, celebrities, media personalities, and political figures on matters of self-image and style. And I know to be true, Liana, that you've also consulted with some huge figures in the self-help industry and in the world of coaching. So we're very excited to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm grateful that you're mentioning that. Yeah, well, I mean, you can mention, there are some people whose names you can mention.
Yeah,
So
well, I remember there was Jack Canfield.
yeah,
And
he's very grateful. He's a very grateful client, and he's one of my mentors. And the thing that I'm most grateful to him for is that he blindly trusted me for 4 years with his Train the Trainer program. So I trained the people that are in his Train the Trainer program, which go on to be success coaches all over the world. And that was very powerful.
Beautiful, yes. And that's what we really want to talk about today, Liana, because we are in the field of success coaching, most of us. And if we're not coaching, we're calling it something else. Everyone listening here is interested in helping others make a transformation in their life of some capacity. So tell us a bit about what you see as transformation in the way that you work with clients.
Well, it's interesting that you're asking that question, because that's a very specific and beautiful question. So when I say, you read it at the beginning, my tagline is I'm an image therapist, and most people don't understand what that is because it hasn't been, it's like in the beginning there were chiropractors and nobody knew what they did, or a Xerox machine and nobody knew what that did. So an image therapist is a person who provides transformation through the empowerment of wardrobe. So your wardrobe is your second skin to the world. It is not just something that you cover your body up with, or we have to all get dressed because we can't go out naked. It's an expression, or it can be an expression, of the truly authentic piece of who you are. Your essence, your voice, the way you walk, the way you move, what your affinities are, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. So your second skin, but people don't think about this, that this is my second skin and the world sees me through this beautiful lens. So we often most of the world uses clothing as armor. We use clothing to envelop, to cover up. We don't use it as a platter upon which we are presented, or upon which we present ourselves to the world. We don't think of it as an extension of our essence, as an extension of our being, as an invitation to the world. We don't think about being the offer. We keep thinking, I have to make an offer. And the truth is that everywhere you go, there you are, and your clothes are with you. So how about they become the platter upon which you're presented, a toolbox for the world to see you in your most amazing, beautiful self.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So tell us a bit about, how did you get into that, Liana? Because one of the questions I get asked most often is, how did you take your idea from the formless into form? Tell us a bit about when you started out.
Yeah, I think that you as a visionary coach, which I believe you to be that. So you take what's formless and you apply it into the world of action, into beingness, right? So I believe that when you are able to have a vision of what's possible, meaning when you can imagine it and then you can speak it, the minute you speak it, it can end up in your lap. So be careful what you speak. because some people say, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I can't do this. That's what ends up in your lap. If it comes out of your mouth, it's going to end up in your lap. That's what I always say. So as a vision, I had this vision from a very, very long time since I was a child. But I didn't know that it was a vision. I didn't know that underneath the conscious mind, in the subconscious, it was constantly working, because I grew up with a mother who was very ill and in bed all the time. And I could see the direct correlation between the clothing and the makeup and the shoes and the scarves and the glasses, that when she put all that on, she would like blossom. And she was a beautiful woman, but she was very ill. So I got imprinted with this vision very early, and it kept being in my heart, and it turned into me wanting to be a fashion designer. It turned into me wanting to help women. It turned into me being part of a group of women who was leading famous people in Hamburg, where I grew up. And one of the things that happened, which was the key shift in my view, was that these women were not German, and I got to take them shopping, and I got to take them to the theater and support them. And these were women who had PhDs and were doctors and chemists and politicians and, leaders in their own right. Some of them were royalty, and they were treated horribly in a store because they didn't have the acumen and the self-knowledge to say, no, this doesn't look good on me. I don't want this. I want that. I want that. And so I would watch them collapse because the vision of themselves was so menial and negative. So I realized, if we can take this from an idea and actually implement it by teaching, at that time it was only women, how to see yourself as a masterpiece, because I believe you are a masterpiece. And if you can see all the beauty of your masterpiece, you're going to be able to take that positivity into the world and dress it and be with it and share yourself and your most beautiful blossom with the world. But most people they don't walk around like a blossom. They walk around like a bud. But this process takes you from bud to blossom. So vision is key, and seeing it clearly is the key to, I believe, to success. Because if you can meditate on how big you want to get and what it looks like, and you can, in your mind, feel it, visualize it, taste it, smell it, feel the air around you, the clearer you become with your vision, the better you can order it to the universe.
So wow, so you had this happening at such a young age, where you had that real sense of your life's purpose and direction.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like in language, but I could see that I wanted to help people. I could, like even today, when I was in England, where you and I met, I would go up to people on the street and I would say, please let me help you. It doesn't have to be like this. Even today I do that, because it is bigger than I am. I see how people suffer. And I think when you ask me, how do you implement your purpose, or how do you find your purpose? For me, my purpose was always directly correlated to the level of my desire and the level of my passion.
Yeah.
So if you want to, here, I'll give you an example. I brought this out on purpose. So this is a Kleenex box, right? And it's an ugly Kleenex box. And I can't stand being around things that are ugly. So I took a Dior ad, I ripped it out of a magazine, and I wrapped the casing with this Dior ad. So if you are passionate about something and you really know you need X, then follow the trail of passion, because that's where success in my view is. I don't think that we can become successful, and I've watched many people do it, when it's like when their desire is like lukewarm. The more you travel on this trail of passion, you can become one with Source, because Source always wants the best for you, always. But we're like in the nitty gritty. Oh no, I need the money. Oh no, I don't have the time. Oh no, my mother didn't treat me well. But that's not where Source lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Source lives in desire. Desire, literally translated, desidere, means of the Father, desire.
That's right. I
So
share that all the time.
yeah, you do? You share that?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
directly from source. Well,
Yeah.
you can call it source, you can call it God, you can call it the universe,
Mhm.
but we don't listen. See, I'm getting hot here. I get so excited.
You're getting passionate.
I'm
It's
getting
good.
so passionate.
So, Liana, when you and I met, I remember distinctly that we had this incredible day together in England where you hosted a beautiful group and you pulled out these incredible pieces of clothing. And, there were things that I wouldn't have necessarily chosen for myself, but you just knew, Grace, this is the one for you. This is the piece for you. And I bought those pieces and I still have them today,
You
which is really
do?
cool. Yes, I still have them today. Really cool. But yes, but so that was my initial inspiration around just looking at your work. You weren't telling us that we had to follow the latest trend, follow the latest fashion. And in fact, when I recently did your incredible Live Your Life in Style course, you were speaking in particular about not letting the outfit show up before you.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of women listening that are coaches, healers, teachers. They're on videos, they're on stages. I'm one of them. Can you share a little bit more about, tell us more about that download you had around image therapy as a means to learning to present yourself as a professional.
That's
What do
beautiful.
you see as important?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you for that question. So I have my little magic wand here. See this? It's got a big diamond on it.
Lovely.
You are a diamond. So light comes at you in so many different ways. Okay? Clothing is the casing around this diamond. So when your casing shows up before you do, meaning when the print is really loud and it's big and it walks in a half an hour before you do, or when the outfit is too tight, it walks in a half an hour before you do, and then it leaves the party an hour after you and totally drunk. How people will remember you. Oh my God, you remember that woman in that crazy ass print? No one's going to remember you. People are just going to remember the big buttons or, I don't know, the cuffs on your jacket. That's not what we want. We want you to show up. So you're a speaker, you're a trainer, you're a healer. We want all of your essence to be what fills the room, not your clothing. Your clothing are just a side piece. They want to show you off. So they're the platter. You know when you put lots of good food on a big platter and you don't see the platter, you just see the food? That's kind of like that. You are the main dish, not the platter. And so when people come to me and they say, but Liana, I fell in love with it. I need all that bright color. I said, then hang it up on your wall. If it shows up before you do, it's not doing you any favors. If people keep talking about the red that you're wearing or the blue or the big necklace or whatever, if it's taking up more energy to look at the piece, then they're not seeing you. And for speakers, trainers, people on television, actors, politicians, I teach people all over the world, royalty. You want this to show up. And the problem that I found and why I created image therapy, which is essentially, it's a PhD in design of who you are. You came to Live Your Life in Style, and it's a membership group, Live Your Life in Style membership group. And there, if you guys want to join, you can get like little bits and pieces. Every month, you'll get bits and pieces on how to continue up-leveling your style, up-leveling your life. And then there's the Virtual Style Academy, which is a 5-week program, which goes, you can access it for a whole year. Once a year it goes live, which there is so much. There's just one component that talks about prints, which is huge, which is what you were just talking about. But the truth is, you know what, Grace, the clothing isn't just print. It's also the visual weight of a fabric. It's the size of the bell bottoms on your pants. It's how does it sleeve fit? Where should it end? What about your skirts? Should you even be wearing skirts? Would you look better in high-waisted pants? What's happening with these low-waisted pants where half the butt is hanging out? You know, it may not be all the time that you think about these, but fit is, it's like the body and the shape of our body is a beautiful, essential masterpiece, like a mountain or like a tree or like a flower. We don't go to a flower and say, you know, I'm going to just shave off the rest of the bottom or the top because I don't like the way you look. But we do it as human beings to ourselves. So instead of taking the clothes and putting them on what's there, on the masterpiece that's there, we make this wrong. We make our masterpiece wrong and say, I'm not good enough, I'm too fat, I need to change, I need to dye my hair, I need to be a different person in order to be all the most beautiful I can be. And I don't believe in that. I don't believe that God makes mistakes. You know, we come here for a purpose, and then there's so much conversation and language going on in the world, and instead of cooperation, there's always competition. And instead of just keeping your head down and going, you know what, I'm here on my own journey. I'm going to learn, I'm going to aggregate, and then I'm going to blossom into the best me that I can be. We don't do that. We're constantly comparing ourselves to other people. And that is the biggest stress factor in the world. Can you imagine a world where we're all going, oh my God, you're amazing. You're so cool at what you do. I love what you do. How can I support you in what you do?
Yeah.
So I think that, I know we're going outside of the scope, but the conversation of image therapy is all about being able to find your own vision about your style, be able to implement it so that it's all you, because you want to show up like you, because everyone else is already taken. So the way you dress, and it makes, you know, it really warms my heart to hear that you still have those clothes. I would love to see some pictures of you today in those clothes. What was that? 12 years ago?
That was 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
7 years ago.
7 years ago. Oh my God.
In London. And that, yeah, in England, that was an incredible day. Incredible.
In the castle.
In the castle. Tell us, Liana, how did, you know, because that was sort of, you weren't starting out, you were well into your business, but here's a question for you that will be of interest to everyone is, you know, how did you go from hosting those beautiful salons, I think you were calling them at the time, to grow your audience and grow your influence, really, to take your business to a new level? What were some of the key decisions that you made for yourself to move into that new level?
Yeah, I was already, 7 years ago, I was already contemplating, you know, one-to-many.
Yeah.
So for many, many years, I've been doing this for 30 years. I was, you know, under the impression, no, I can only do this one-on-one. And then I spoke to a whole bunch of people, Jack Canfield, Lisa Sasevich, Marcia Weeder. So all these people are big marketers, dream coaches. You know, Lisa Sasevich is a fantastic marketing coach and business coach. And how do you make a lot of money? And I think that what most people are afraid of, or what I've watched people draw back from, is to invest in someone who can actually do what you need, because you're not going to reinvent the wheel. And so often the fear has to do with investment. And what holds people, I think what holds people back mostly is fear, which is false evidence appearing as real.
That's right.
Fear. And so when you say to me, so what did you do? I invested. I often invested money I didn't have. But I believed in my own product. I still believe in what it is that I'm doing. Look, I'm going to a whole other level. I'm going into the Middle East. Yes, I have a wonderful friend who's a princess in Jordan, so that's great. But that's not going to help me expand. What's going to help me expand is a great marketing firm, wonderful people who know what they're doing in that region, and they're you know, they have the master's degree in what they do.
Yeah.
So if you don't know how to find your vision, so for your people that are watching, if you don't know how to find your vision, or you can't clarify your purpose, you go see Grace. And you do everything that she tells you to do. Hopefully you will do everything that she tells you to do. She's your mentor.
That's right.
If you're opening your closet and you're like a heart attack waiting to happen, and everything is coming at you, and you go into your bedroom and you open your closet and you don't know what to wear, and you put on every piece of clothing, and your closet is empty, and your dress is full, and your bed is full of clothes, your bed is dressed, and you're still naked, then you call me. So it's like, it's so simple, but you know, we don't make it easy. We make it hard. Most people make it hard on themselves. Instead of saying, I'm going to invest in myself, they say, oh, I don't have the money, I don't have the time. The truth is that the simplest way to get to the next level is to hire people who know what they're doing. To help you. Because once you're freed up, and you know this, Grace, once you're freed up to do your magic and let other people support you, that's when you can make 5 times, 10 times the amount of money. Look, I mean, I went from making $100,000 a year to making $600,000 a year.
Yeah.
So my next vision is, you know, 2.5 million.
Yeah. Whole new levels. Yeah. We talk a lot, Liana, about, you know, moving into a new level for yourself. So that's one of the reasons I really was keen to have you on here, because, you know, you are a testament to that. And you're selling something that is, you know, that some people will be really, really, really keen on, and some people will actually find as a luxury. You know, I don't have, that's a luxury to look in that direction. Talk to us a little bit about, just as coaches, teachers, presenters, all of us listening either have to do what I'm doing now. We have to show up online, or we have to show up on stage, or we have to show up in some capacity where we are visually seen. And so talk to us a little bit about what you see as, I guess, key areas to pay attention to.
I'll give you,
people can go deeper with you and your courses, but just for the sake of an example or two today, what do you see?
I think I'd like to give you like 3 tips that would really support. And as soon as you guys who are watching, you're more than welcome to come, and you're invited to get a free gift. So if you go to lianasgifts.com, you'll get a video series, 5 or 6 or 7 videos that you, I mean, can absolutely immediately implement. But let me give you a few things. So as teachers on stage, coaches, mentors, what I sell, or what I invite people to invest in, is love. It's self-love. That's what this is really the key to, Grace. So when you are alone, between you and God, when you're alone with yourself, what is it that you like? Notice what you say about your own body, about who you are. You know, you might be speaking, I'm just the cat's meow and I'm great. And then you take your clothes off and you step into the shower and there's a big mirror, and all you're saying to yourself is detriment, detriment, detriment. I don't even want to say what it is.
Yeah.
So notice the first step in image therapy is noticing your self-talk. Because if you're thinking it, that's what you're creating. You are a creation of your thoughts and your emotions. So if they're going down the ladder, it's not serving you. So that's the first thing. And write them down and turn them from a negative into a positive. And you really want to get to a place where you can emote, where you can feel the positivity.
Yeah.
So that's the first step. Second step is, I'd like you, unless you have black hair, which most people who are watching this will not, I can tell you. let go of your black items. And I know this is going to freak all of you out, but you're going to get to hear this a lot. I'm a stand for it. I'm doing a TED Talk on it. I'll be doing this TED Talk all over the world, and not TEDx, but TED. Black is the absence of color. It shuts down your heart. As coaches, we are all in the business of having our clients invest in love. That's the key. No matter whether you're teaching transformation, whether you're teaching math, whether you're teaching how to make more money, essentially, if you're not open to loving yourself and the world, ain't gonna happen. That's what I think. So take the black, put it into your graveyard closet, put graveyard on top of it. Just stick it in there for 30 days, okay? Just for 30 days. You don't have to freak out. You don't have to give it away. You don't have to burn it. But you have to put it in your graveyard closet, especially everything that's close to your heart. You're going to say, oh my God, my black shoes, my black pants, my black. Just put it in there. Go visit it. Take flowers to it. Mourn it. Cry over it. Just don't wear it. Just don't wear it for 30 days. And start wearing color. And watch what happens. It's amazing.
Wow.
That's tip 2. Tip number 3 is this thing that you just mentioned. If it shows up before you, to put it back. So if you have a question about an outfit, don't have a question looking at it over here. It has to be on your body. Put it on your body, get in front of a mirror, take about 7 steps back, take a deep breath, close your eyes. And when you open your eyes and you look in the mirror, be really honest with yourself and notice what you're looking at first. Is it the outfit or is it your face? If it's the outfit, I can tell you, don't wear it. Because if the outfit shows up before you do, I want you to put it back.
Yeah.
So simple example, like you said, if it walks in a half an hour before, that's what I always tell my clients. If it walks in a half an hour before you do, put it back.
I love it, Liana. I'm having this vision of you coming to Italy, telling the Italians about the black and the national response. I went to a party last week, and I was wearing a sort of a Bordeaux color, if you like, a burgundy color, and I walked in, and every single person there, except for me, which I was interesting,
Was wearing black.
Because in the winter here, that is the go-to color. So with regards to black, you feel that it does close off the heart, and is it draining the color in our skin tone? All of it.
It does all of it. So it's the absence of color. If you look at nature, there's nothing really black except coal.
Yeah.
Death.
Yeah.
There's no life in it. Black tourmaline, which isn't really black. So as a gemologist, I'm telling you, there's just a few things. There's onyx, there's black tourmaline, but none of these pieces are pieces that will support your brilliance. Black drains out the color from everything. So when you guys come and do this course with me, you'll learn about your personal black. Which could be chocolate brown for you, which could be navy for you. So it's a color that you can wear, you, whoever you are out there. I can't wait to meet you. Taken to its darkest level, that looks similar to black, but it's not black because it still contains pigments of color. And I can tell you, 35 years of doing this work all over the world, and I notice what people are saying and how their lives have changed, how their hearts have opened up. Black is not the color. The reason why black came into existence is because Coco Chanel in 1936, after the Second World War, didn't have any fabric. There was no fabric left. It was wartime. She only had a bunch of bolts of black, and she wanted to do a prêt-à-porter, a ready-to-wear line. And she just used the black, and that's how the little black dress was born. It wasn't because somebody got very creative.
Right.
It was she didn't have anything else. And this has stuck. So as a fashion designer, as a couture designer, I can tell you that it's it's a waste of your beauty. It's a waste of your brilliance to not show yourself in all your magic. I always say to my students, not living in all your talents, and your beauty is one of your talents. Not living in all your talents is like spitting into the face of God. So stop doing that.
Wow, powerful, powerful. Oh, Liana, thank you so much for your time today. I know that the audience will have received a lot of wisdom, a lot of connection, and certainly will be feeling as uplifted as I am around this whole self-love, image, and beauty piece. So we will let you know, everybody, where you can connect with Liana, and she has very generously offered us a free gift.
Yeah, we can say it again if you like. Liana's gift.
Go ahead.
Are you going to put it in? You're going to put it in?
I'll put it as a link, but go ahead. Go ahead.
It's simple. Liana's gift, LiansGifts.com. Super simple.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. So thank you for being here, Liana, and I hope you've enjoyed this particular interview, ladies. I'll be back with you soon with another one. Ciao.